Hello, hello. Today we're talking about expertise and how expertise does not have to follow subject matter. What do I mean? I actually had a student at the very beginning of the semester ask me questions. So I have a questionnaire for them to fill out. And if there's questions that they have for me that I can answer. And this student asked me some poignant questions, including one of them, which was, what are you an expert in? So that we can have really interesting conversations and I could pick your brain. Y'all, afros. I looked at the question, I was like, what am I an expert in? And I couldn't come up with anything. And I think at the very beginning, and it's because I automatically went to subject matter. I was like, okay, what topics, what things do I study? What are like the majors? So I was like, I'm a dabbler. That was my first impression. I was like, when I think about subjects and topics of interest that are out there, I was thinking more along the lines of this student wants me to say that I am really good at mass spectrometry or quantum physics or I don't know, computing or whatever, right? I was thinking of like minute expertises related to subject matter, which is problematic, at least for me in trying to come up with an expertise, because I feel like I'm a bit of a dabbler. I like knowing a lot about a lot of different things, but it also means that I have surface knowledge about a lot of things, which does not work with this question on expertise and what the student can have interesting conversations with me about. So then here I was like, no, I'm not interesting. And then I was a bit flabbergasted with myself because I was like, how is it possible that I don't have an expertise? Like, why is this hard for me to come up with? So I've been sitting with it for, I don't even want to tell y'all how long. It's probably 5 or 6 weeks later. And I have an answer, but it's not subject matter related. Thinking of it like a major that you can learn in school or a lot of different books or, cause my expertise runs in relationships with other human beings and with myself. So I wrote an answer. And it actually made me think of how we perceive value and careers. We are trained, even as kids, when people ask, who do you want to be or what do you want to be? We go to a job, right? We want to be a firefighter. We want to be a doctor. We want to be a nurse. We want to be a teacher versus maybe qualities of being a human being. Like, I want to be adventurous. I want to go on adventures. I want to be courageous. I want to like love on people. I want to be kind to my friends. We don't say that. So again, by default, when the student asked me, what do you want to be an expert in? I went to like I had to go to careers, right? What is a subject matter that would be palatable to other people that I have done a deep dive on? And I couldn't think of anything. Very similarly, actually, probably to when I must have been 13 or so. And I was getting so annoyed at adults asking me, who do I want to be? And one of them was one of my mom's friends, and I did not like him at all. And he asked me, what do you want to be? What do you want to be? And I looked at him and I was like, are you saying I'm not somebody now? So I love that I even had sass when I was 13. I may have gotten in trouble with my mom. My mom was like, shush now. She wants to be, but y'all, I don't even know at 13. I didn't know that I wanted to be a teacher or an instructor at 13. That was at 14. So at 13, I don't even know what I would say, but I am proud of me for being like, are you saying that I'm not somebody now? Which does link to my answers. So I do have answers now of what I'm an expert in. A lot of it is, again, related to humanity and my relationship with myself and others. So here is what I'm an expert in. Did I have to write a list for myself? Yes. Why? Because even in that moment of feeling frozen and having no ideas and then being stumped and being like, how is it possible that I have no expertise? And yet people hire me for a perceived expertise in a variety of arenas. So what the heck? How is it that this was a difficult one for me to answer? And once I shifted to or from topical subject matter to who am I in the world? What do I provide in the world? It was much easier, much easier. So here's a list of some of the things that I found that I am an expert in. One of them is me being me out loud. I am an expert now. I wasn't always, but I am an expert at me being able to be me out loud in a variety of contexts, in front of one person and in front of thousands of people. I am an expert in living life in a way that feels really good to me, in a way that honors my values, that has me so that I can look in the mirror and feel proud and respect the person who is looking back. I am an expert in teaching. I had to make this distinction for myself. I am an expert in teaching composition, English composition. I am an expert in teaching literature. I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm an expert in the actual doing this, right? Like there's experts of literature. I'm an expert in teaching literature. I'm an expert in creating spaces where people feel adored and cared for. I'm an expert in creating spaces where people feel like they can be themselves. They don't feel like they're being judged negatively, where they can bring their masks down. I often get people who will say, like, this is the first time I'm able to just be me and experience what it's like without my defenses up, right? So I'm an expert in creating those kind of spaces. Because I do those things, I'm an expert in creating spaces where people feel, and this is their words, where they feel lit up or they feel transformed or they say transformational spaces. They feel inspired. Um, I am an expert in having honest, real conversations where people feel like they can be honest with me. Um, again, I don't know. I'm just gonna say it. I was like, I don't have the reason. I'm just gonna call it magic. I create a space or I create relationships with people where they feel like they can share. And I'd say that that's something that I am an expert in, where they can share themselves and have no fear of retaliation or negative, I don't know, being canceled. People feel honored and seen for who they are and even who they're becoming and who they want to be. Like I'm able to see that in people. My husband said this really well. He always calls me a promoter, that he loves that I'm a promoter. But I asked him this question and he goes, you have a dual ability in accepting people for who they are and also facilitate their growth and who they're becoming. And I'd say that's true, right? Based on where people want to go or what their goals are or what they want to lean into or what they're struggling with or whatever their next like thing, whatever that thing is that's important to them, I do have an ability to see what that next step could be that would feel helpful to them. I will also say that my husband said that I'm an expert in being really cute. So I appreciate that came from my husband. I just have to say that out loud because did I write it down? Yes, he said you're really cute. Also, let's see. I'm really good at loving and celebrating people. I love it, right? I'm an expert in loving and celebrating people. I'm an expert in snuggles. I am a really good snuggler with my kids and my husband. I'm really good at seeing what's possible and leaning into what's possible and not negating what's possible for myself and for other people. Even if it's not done yet, especially if it hasn't been created yet or goes against the grain. I don't know. I love that, which leads to like, I'm an expert in seeing a variety of perspectives and that they can all exist at the same time. So I don't have issues with living in the gray, right? Like I know that for a lot of people, at least what I've been told is that they like black and white because the gray is really uncomfortable. I have a lot of peace in the gray and I could hold several truths to be true at the same time, and I could hold several perspectives, and, I'm really good at seeing a variety of perspectives. And another thing that I'm an expert in is I am an expert in, like, learning new knowledge from a variety of places. Again, I think this is the educator in me, and when it's needed, when it's impactful, I can translate that material into something that somebody can hear. Maybe it's an analogy, maybe it's a different way of saying it, so that they can actually hear it and use that information in practical ways. Yeah, I love the practicality of it. Let's see, what else did I put? What else did I put? Oh, I'm really good at creating spaces where people can start to see and experience that they can live their lives their way and start to build confidence in a variety of ways of being able to do that, and in a space where they feel really cared for. Um, let's see. Oh my gosh, I even put slow mornings. I am an expert in living a life that I love at the pace that I want to live it. I'm an expert at really slow mornings because I love them. I am an expert at making my coffee in the morning and going out on my porch and journaling or just listening to the birds or spacing out watching the clouds or doing things that honor me like I don't know, paint. That's my new thing. Play some piano, which I've just started over the past 5 years, but it's been awesome. So living life on my pace and really enjoying my slow mornings. Ugh, I'm really good at that. What else did I think those are the major things that at least those are the ones that I wrote down. And so it's I think I love my list because I feel like it's not something that we tend to talk about a lot, right? When we talk about expertise, like, people hire me, and I know that I'm really good at creating spaces where people feel cared for and inspired. That's not something that we hear in the world a lot. It reminds me very much of when I started running school. So I became a principal at 25, and I was running school starting 25 till about 30, and I was running colleges and elementary schools. And, I was leading in a variety of conferences. Because related to success metrics, at that point in admin, there's success metrics. I was off the charts successful, whatever that success means, right? Meaning student retention was high, people were income, all of that, right? The grades, all of that, graduation rates. Um, and I'd often get asked, what makes the difference? How do you do those? And I didn't have a lot of the words back then, but even then I was like, well, I lead with care. I lead with my heart. Like I treat people as human beings. And I would often, you can imagine. So when I was a dean at a college, I think I was 26, 27, 20, I was sort of in that mid 20s. I was the youngest dean at a lot of these conferences by at least 20 years. And I remember there was one conference and it was, I would assume that there was like probably 1,000 people there, hundreds, at least hundreds. I was one of two women. Okay. And there were times in small groups where I would get asked, what do I do to ensure that I have these kind of metrics semester over semester, year after year? And my answer continuously remained, I treat people like human beings and I care for them as human beings. And I lead with my heart and I lead with my love. And I ultimately care how they're doing. And it's amazing the reaction that I would get because this was 20 years ago, y'all. So it's just starting to be talked about now. Back then, there wasn't a lot of people talking about it at all. It was all about like a hierarchy of power over. It was about numbers and systems. And there wasn't a lot of literature out there either. I mean, there was pedagogical research about it, but I didn't see a lot in practice. Then it would get weird. And I think because it was novelty and because it was coming from somebody that didn't tend to hold those positions, and I think because of my age and how I looked, but also the material that I brought up and just the different perspective that I brought to being in classes and also running schools, I got some strange reactions from people. I mean, the one that I got the most was them asking me what I wore to school. as if what I wore to school was what enticed students to come and stay and get an education and graduate. All that to say, I'm really freaking proud of myself for sticking with it, and that 25 years later continues to be what students say matters to them, becomes transformational spaces that allows them to then know and dream up possibilities for their lives and know that they can live into them, and to just, we don't know what people are dealing with in their lives, but they can feel cared for and appreciated and seen and known and loved as is in that moment. I still can't wrap my brain around what a difference that makes. So there are some things that I'm expert in. I'm curious for y'all. Are y'all noticing? Are there things that you are expert in that could be? Actually, yes. Tell me. What are the things that you think that you are, or that you know that you are an expert in? And it can be subject matter. It can be something that you're hyperfixating on, or you've hyperfixated on for a long time. Perhaps you've gotten some world records in this thing. I'd love to know. Do I have a student that has like 37 world records right now in my class in this speed gaming that I'm just learning about? Yes. So perhaps that's you, or perhaps your expertise is something different. Like you're really good at listening, or you're really good at, I don't know, having people feel calm around you. So share all of those with me. And I'm just so grateful you're here. Thank you.